Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Scotty the Trucker coming to you from a Loves in Texas. I'll just say, keep it kind of vague. I'm actually on a 34 plus, which I don't do very often. I'm typically a driver that tries to keep pretty good recaps, and I just keep rolling and rolling. And the times that I do take 34, I'm usually sick, which is the case this time. I'm coming out of it. I'm 47 hours into this break. I added an extra day just because I was feeling horrible yesterday and wanted to give enough notice, so I just went ahead and asked for another day. So getting a good amount of rest here at this Loves. But yeah, I found with me, I can play through just about any pain. I've had in my 4 years of doing this, I've had back pain, knee pain, I've had the world's largest kidney stone. Those of you that have been with me a while, knew I documented that about a year and a half ago. I had my one and only kidney stone, but it was a whopper. It was 12 millimeters, which is like a tiny football in your urethra. Had to have that surgically removed and blasted with lasers and all kinds of stuff. A lot of fun. But I find that I can work through just about any kind of pain, load up on the ibuprofen and I'm good. But I don't know about you guys, I can't do shit when I'm sick. I get a hefty cold. When I can't breathe, I tend to have a lot of watery eyes and stuff like that. And trying to drive when you're caught, have a rolling cough or a sinus headache or anything like that, I just can't do it. So, I'm not sick a lot, but when I do, that tends to be when I take my 34. I didn't really need one. I was down, to that point where you get under 10 hours and you kind of each day you get back a little bit and you use it. But I was doing fine. I had a good set of recaps ahead of me, but it was just time. I needed to rest this and whatnot. So not my first choice, and that's what this video is kind of about, is Loves. I know Loves seems to be kind of a fan favorite with truckers. It's not for me, and I was going to kind of talk about that today, just for shits and giggles. But yeah, my favorites have always been when I first started trucking, like back when I was doing TNT, my trainer used to like Flying J a lot, and I started off my career kind of liking Flying J for the reason that it did happen to, it usually had, back then I was looking for pull-throughs a lot, and Flying J, if you hit the right time of day, usually has pull-throughs, big parking lot. I like that it has, I prefer a sit-down restaurant to fast food, and as you know, most of the Flying J's have Denny's or whatnot, which I do like. But my favorites now, I guess the kind of hierarchy is Petro's my favorite, TA's my second favorite, probably followed by Flying J, just because they're all kind of bigger parking lots, bigger facilities, lounges. I like getting off the truck once in a while and having a room that you can enjoy yourself in a little bit. So I do like a lounge, and I like a sit-down restaurant. So those are kind of my top three. Then I guess that's probably where I would put Loves. I'm not sure. I'm kind of iffy. I would even maybe put Road Ranger above it, because I like usually they have nice open parking lots. And a lot of it now, yes, I still do like easy parking, but it's not really for the reason I used to. I'm really always looking for defensive parking, and I always kind of figure if it's easy for me to get in, then it's easier for the next guy that's going to be parking on either side of me. So I'm always looking for pull-throughs or places like where I'm at right now. I'm right across from the fuel aisle. Do a good straight line back. Again, I can do the alley dock style now without too much trouble. I don't mind doing that, but I just kind of live by the thing. If it's an easy parking for me, then it's probably easy for the next, the two sides beside me. So I'm less likely to get bumped into. But yeah, in general, I try to avoid the truck stops. So, I get my, shower every couple days, 2 or 3 days, and other than that, I try to avoid them. I really don't eat fast food anymore, almost never. Taking away that I'm on a 3-day break or 2-day break or whatever, I have enjoyed Arby's a little bit here, but that was my choice. I was like, if I'm gonna be here, let's enjoy it a bit. But ordinarily, it's kind of my general rule. I don't do fast food except for the occasional. I do like a McDonald's breakfast. I don't know why, that's kind of my thing. But other than that, talking about Loves, I know most people, I think most truckers would say it's their favorite. I do like that it's free parking. I do like that. Though at the other places, I don't mind walking. In fact, I often will try to park a little further away just to get some steps in. And if I do ever need to pay for parking, I usually have the points that I use. So I rarely have a parking problem, even at TAs and places that charge. But once in a while, I don't even mind that, And honestly, if you get a place that's, paid parking, the added benefit is that, you tend to have a higher caliber of clientele staying there. It's not usually the ones that are pissing out their truck and, trashing up everything. That seems to be the ones that, never, ever pay for anything extra. So anyway, that just seems to be my take. But yeah, Love seems to be the shiny new thing that everybody likes, but for me, it's way down the list. The only thing I would put below Loves in that is Pilot. And if you ever talk to any of my trainees, I don't like going into Pilot even to fuel. I'll do it, but I don't. Too many Pilots, they're just not set up well. The parking lots are always janky and total clusterfucks a lot of the time. Just pulling through to get fuel, a lot of them are so tight, especially you go through one at night. Oh my gosh, such a mess. The only thing I will say good about Pilots, I'm trying to think that, the only thing sometimes some Pilots have a pretty good warm bar or whatever, food bar. They have halfway decent food under that. I like they have decent wings. I'll get them. Even their burgers aren't too bad, a lot of people will turn their stomachs at it. I tend to like, they've got what's called the Big Dog, which is like a giant, like 2-foot hot dog with, I think it's like half a pizza crust going around, like a pig in a blanket, but huge. They're pretty good, though not good on the indigestion, but they taste good. I like those. So yeah, Pilot, I would say the only redeeming quality is the ones that have the hot bar. But yeah, I like TAs and Petros just because they're just a little bit more spaced out. There's areas that you usually have benches and chairs and lounges and things like that. You can get off the truck and enjoy yourself a little bit. So I tend to like that, and the fact that they have the sit-down restaurants, which I prefer. If I'm going to eat now, and like I said, I've started really doing much better on the diet out here. It's taken me this long to really get truly sick of road food. So I don't do it often, and when I do, I prefer kind of a sit-down restaurant type of situation. So I like the TAs and Petros. Now, I was going to say, the Loves, one of the few things that I really liked best about Loves, they've gotten rid of just recently. It's going to be a silly thing to most of y'all. One of my little guilty pleasures is that I enjoy getting a hot dog or two when I fuel up at a Loves. I do enjoy the roller grill once in a while. Not the taquitos and all that other crap. That stuff's garbage. Like a tube with mush in it, please. But no, I do like the hot dogs, just the straight up hot dogs. And they used to have the Schwab brand, underneath they have the little nameplates and stuff, Schwab and Eisenberg. And then they had a third that was just all beef hot dog or whatever. Schwab to me is the best hot dog I've ever had, and that's what I would enjoy when I would fuel. I'd get a couple hot dogs and a soda and drive through the night with that. I always enjoy that. But I don't know if it's a money thing. I talked to one person at One Loves, and some seem to think it was just saving money. But across all Loves, Schwab and Eisenberg hot dogs are gone. Those were, to me, the two best. Now it's just hot dog, all beef hot dog. And neither of them are very good. They're kind of garbage. So one of the few redeeming factors for Loves for me was being able to get a good hot dog at night. So that's kind of gone now. So not much to love about Loves. And I normally would not have picked Loves for a 34 plus brake like this one. But the only other place that around where I'm at was a TA, but the restaurant was closed there. So, and I think it had like a Chester's, or I don't even know if it had that, but the main restaurant's closed. So, figured this would be the next best thing. And this one has an Arby's, which when we're talking about kind of love-hate relationships with these kind of places, I've been seeing so much Arby's hate online. What is with that? I don't get that. And oftentimes you'll see a TikTok talking about how, good God, who's eating at Arby's? Who's keeping Arby's open? Since I was a kid, Arby's was a step up from everything else. I've always looked at Arby's as kind of an upscale fast food restaurant. I mean, we only stayed away from it when I was younger because it was usually more expensive. We would end up at McDonald's instead of Arby's because you couldn't afford Arby's all the time. But man, I will take an Arby's regular roast beef, but it has to have with the horsey sauce and a couple drops of the Arby's sauce on it. Damn, that beats anything out there in the fast food world. I don't understand the Arby's hate. And the ones that say, oh my God, who's keeping Arby's afloat and why would anybody? Usually it comes out that they've never tried it. And the only thing I can figure with Arby's is Arby's makes a marketing mistake, I think. All their pictures show their half-pound version of everything, which is like a sandwich with 2 buns and this much roast beef or ham or whatever it is, and that is not appetizing. Who's getting a half pound of meat on an Arby's burger? Almost nobody. But that's the picture they put. Is just these ridiculously 1 foot tall sandwiches that aren't appetizing. So maybe that's what turned people off before they ever start. But they got 3 types of potato things. They got regular fries, curly fries, and what I like is the potato cakes. You just can't beat it. I don't know what this Arby's hate is about. To me, it's the absolute best. Conversely, to me, the worst people seem to, are violently loyal to is Wendy's. That's one I don't get. I've never enjoyed one meal at Wendy's. It's just garbage to me. But people are militant in their love for Wendy's. They don't like to even hear someone talking bad about Wendy's. But I don't get it. Even when I was a kid, Wendy's. My parents, I think, liked Wendy's. My parents liked Wendy's and like Long John Silver's. And I used to get dragged in, and I would find something that I could. And Taco Bell. I wasn't a big Taco Bell fan, but I remember Wendy's. I could get by with they had a hot dog. I would get a hot dog, plain hot dog. Long John Silver's wasn't my thing. I kind of want to try it again now. It looks like something maybe with a more mature palate I might enjoy again. So I'm kind of wanting to try Long John Silver's again, but. Taco Bell, I didn't like anything at Taco Bell, but I ended up kind of enjoying just a plain bean burrito. That was my kid go-to there. But Wendy's to me is bottom of the barrel, but Arby's is at the top. And I know that's probably a controversial, unpopular opinion, but it's my own. Anyway, that's all. Didn't really have much to talk about today. Just thought I would run my mouth about my kind of non-love for loves. I know a lot of people it's their favorite, but I don't see what there is to get excited about. It's usually a little cleaner, shinier. It's kind of that new clean, shiny thing, but of the things that I like to spend my time doing, they don't have laundry at most of them. This one has it. I'm about to do that. But most of them don't have laundry. They're just small with fast food, and I'm the opposite. I want large with sit-down restaurant. And so, except for Pilot, Loves is kind of the bottom of the barrel. That said, across the board, there are good and bad of all of them. There are Loves that are incredible. This one's not bad. Nice open parking lot, and it's Arby's. Like I said, I like Arby's. So, within any of them, there's good and bad. There's the outliers, but in a general sense, I much prefer like a Petro is my favorite place to go. So anyway, that was fun. I'm going to try to download something from my GoPro. I took like 3 weeks ago. I haven't used it since then, but I did do a night run through Las Vegas, and we'll see what that footage looks like. And maybe I'll do 2 videos today. We'll see, or put that through later. But I was just gonna put it to music or something, but just kind of show you those of you that never been down the Las Vegas Strip, what it looks like at night. So I'm going to see if that turned out okay. But anyway, it's been a little while since I did my last video, so just wanted to say hey to you guys. I am still out here, and hope you all are doing well. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.